Time now for Fact or Fiction here on SportsCenter, NFL Draft Style, joined by our gurus, Todd McShay and Mel Kiper Jr. Todd, let's start with you. Fact or Fiction, Jarvis Jones is a top 10 pick.
I'm going to go fiction here. Listen, I love his production like everybody does, but I wonder about the scheme fit. When he's 6'2", he's 248 pounds. Why is Mel disagreeing? He's 6'2", he's 248 pounds. You look at him as a player, he can come off the edge. He does some certain things.
Todd. When you take a look at his production, the SEC is an outside linebacker, playing through an injury, 2 successive years, putting up incredible numbers, tremendous motor, can beat you a variety of ways. I think this is a guy to me, Todd, deserves to be a top 10 pick.
Well, there you have it. Two of the best football minds in the business, yet somehow they can't agree on anything. Not quite sure how that's possible. Still ahead here on ESPN, a brand new 30 for 30 film. New York Jets 2012. The butt fumble.
And we're clear.
Good job, guys. Great stuff.
Nothing like a hot cup of coffee.
Oh, Todd, I have to disagree with you, Todd. I take a look at a standard cup of hot Joe that compared to the dynamic, hard-hitting, electric, cold beverage like an iced mocha frappuccino out Seattle, the Starbucks franchise. Gives you a bigger burst, cooler temperature. No need to blow on it because this one's ready to drink now. Mocha frappuccino, extra ice, firmly entrenched, the number one position on my big menu board. Let's take a look at my mock coffee drink draft.
What's going on? Where did that graphic come from?
Hey, Mel, I bet you didn't think of this. What about the ice in your coffee?
I thought about that. Huge upside on the extra ice. Adds 30, 40 minutes to your lifespan, your delicious frozen beverage. Risk is in the hot coffee like mouth burn, hot spill. For my money, if I had to spill coffee in my lap, I'm taking iced coffee over hot one that could leave you potentially scarred for life. Cold coffee, flying under the radar, no lap injuries, safe bet. You'd be hard-pressed to tell me otherwise.
Mel, I didn't realize you were also an expert at picking coffee.
Hey, considering for the last 3 months, including today, I haven't slept more than 17 seconds any given time preparing for the draft. I'm as big an expert on coffee as I am on football.
Mel, any other areas of expertise that we should know about?
As a matter of fact, yes. So let's take a look at the big board.
Oh, great. He makes his own graphics.
Teleporting, Mel? What is that?
Todd, number 4, teleportation. How's that, huh?
This is impossible.
Apparently not.
Can you guys agree on anything?
Not
Sure.
a chance.
Hey, thanks for
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You muted the floor, but welcome to Hayes Street. My dog Street on his way, man. I think he dropping the keys to the Maybach off to the valet. So I'm gonna do the intro today. Normally, Really Flawed does it, but this is how do I say this? This is going to be Really Flawed's 2020, a Really Flawed 2025 NFL mock draft, and that's what we're going to do because she is not only the senior director of marketing, news, information, and
research,
and gossip and research. She's also our NFL go-to expert person here on Hayes Street. As you see, we are in Green Bay right now, getting ready for the draft on Thursday, and this is her mock draft negative 1.0. And we're about to make this thing happen. So right now, we in the building, in the place to be. So y'all do me a favor. Y'all clap it up for Really Flawed draft 6.0. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get into this.
Can I also say, I basically, like, what is the difference between my qualifications and his qualifications? Like, what is Mel Kiper's qualifications?
Absolutely nothing.
Like, he likes football? Okay. Like, what?
Absolutely. Listen. Absolutely no difference in qualifications. Like if you put both resumes on the table, it's a 50-50 shot here both ways. You can't get it wrong. You can't get it wrong. You understand? Real quick, before we rock on, Shad been a member for 19 months. Y'all clap it up for Shad as well. He says, and I did not read this before I put it on the screen, this woman texted me and asked me about baby gravy, but she doesn't have any kids. Is this a joke? I don't know anything about the F, Shad. I don't know what baby gravy is. I think that's throw up. Maybe I would just say that's throw up. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Because he's been a member for 19 months, we just let him roll with it.
We'll throw it up there. Yeah, you know what, Shad? Maybe Google it. Maybe.
Shout out to Mel Kiper. I'll answer in the Mel Kiper tone. Shad has much upside when it comes to his comments. Look at this right here. he brings his comments. Nobody knows what in the world he's doing, but he has a plan. And when he has a plan, he is dynamic. That's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, somebody's going to end up on their back, whether it's the quarterback, maybe it's the lady down the street, or maybe you just might end up with baby gravy. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how Mel Kiper
said.
You have no idea what he's talking about. But let's talk about Mel Kiper right quick. Kiper,
he said he thought we saw the Shannon text right. Yeah, I don't see any of that stuff. The only stuff I see is the stuff Ace shows me on Mondays.
Oh, Shannon Sharp, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But he has been alleged SA assault. Maybe I said the A stands for assault. SA somebody somewhere somehow. But we'll talk about that here. Real quick, let's talk about Mel Kiper before we get into I believe our more overqualified version of Mel Kiper really far. Mel Kiper is a gentleman. I don't know how he got this job. No knock to him. I'm just giving up people who may not know.
Yep.
He's been predicting drafts and been this quote unquote expert for decades now. And he gets things quite wrong, right? He's supposed to be this insider and who's going where and who's doing this, that, and the third. So the GM was the owner or the GM from Indianapolis Colts way back in the day actually gave Mel Kiper the blues.
They all I feel like have had their turn. Because I mean, he just maybe that too. I mean, you know.
There you go. Since 1984. Since 1984. Shout out to Edward in the building. So before we get into the my dog Street, he just dropped the keys off to the valet. He getting ready to pop in.
Okay.
Right now.
And I mean, the thing is too about these drafts is that it is hard. Like even when I was going through making my list, I was going to say, because I think there might be a trade, and I was like, I'm not even going to go down that road because then you open up a can of worms of potential. And I get it. It is hard. I wish though that he acts like he knows. Like somebody that knows something, but he has 6 mock drafts at this point, 7 mock drafts. So like, what does he know? If you have 7 shots at it, I mean, and you get 50% right out of 7, like with 7 things, that's, I guess that's pretty good.
You can always mix up the pot and say, look, I was right in mock draft 2, right. But then I was wrong in mock 3, but I was right in mock 4, based on the thing. Hey, I don't know, but we're going to definitely find out. Like I said, my man Street, he on the way through.
Okay,
cool. In a second, man. We had to rock and roll.
Yeah, right, and the other thing is too, just before I reveal, I'll wait till Street gets here so that he knows, because he doesn't. I have some interesting. So I decided my top 15. So because I felt like once it gets to 16, it gets a little bit tricky, and so I did the top 16. And then the other thing is too, I mean, if you want me to pick 16, I will. You're going to realize what I find value in football when you hear my when you hear my picks. So if you haven't ever watched any of my content or any of my videos or anything, you're in for a rude awakening, because you're about to find out what I care about when it comes to football and the things that I think make teams better. So you're going to see that.
Do you care about just their name, how their name sounds, and how they look in their pants?
No. So I judge football the closest to the football. So, and when I say meaning the center, the offensive line, quarterback, defensive line, like that's kind of because since the ball goes backwards, right? You need to have a good quarterback, and then the defensive line. So like how the closest to the football I judge. So trenches, I care about. Yeah, Street will.
Oh, my bad. Street and V12 in the war room. Yeah, them boys. I think Street had Mel Kiper hanging him over the balcony like Suge Knight getting these final answers. That's what Street was back there doing.
Yeah.
Won't you tell me who the first pick is? And we're going to get into it, man. But before we do, just give my dog a chance to get through here. No, we're not going down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. Which one?
Here's my question. Since you say you like to go backwards here, who do you think is Mr. Irrelevant this year?
Oh my God, that's hard.
I know, just pick somebody. Mel Kiper does.
Yeah, but you realize it's the very last person that gets drafted. I mean, if I had to pick, who gets the last draft pick of the NFL this year? Do we know?
I don't know.
Who gets the last draft pick? in the NFL? Let's see, because that was going to. I
Mm-mm-mm.
don't even know who Mr. Irrelevant was last year. Who gets the last? Does anybody in the chat know who gets the last pick?
Kansas City.
Oh, I just pulled up and it said Philadelphia Eagles.
Based on
Yeah.
this,
It's the
round
Eagles
7?
because the Eagles won the championship. So,
well, I don't know.
the
They got
Eagles-
Kansas City 257 on here.
so you know what's actually funny about that? I think it might be somebody from Colorado.
Damn.
And mainly because I think because I think if you get, because I think going, to be honest, I think going to the Eagles is where you want to be. like if you can be a part of the Eagles organization, I mean,
I don't
why
know.
not?
I'm looking here at ESPN round 7. As of right now, they have the 41st pick in the 7th round, 257 overall, KC. Before that is the Chargers, Browns, Saints, Dolphins, San Fran, KC
If
again.
it's Kansas City, I can see Kansas City going with, well, they need an offensive lineman. They need as many as they can get. I could see a random, why don't we do by position? If it's Kansas City, I could see them getting like actually, if it's Kansas City, I could see Kansas City getting a receiver or an offensive lineman or something like that. Because Mr. Irrelevant usually stays irrelevant. That's the sad part about it. But I think Brock Purdy is the one we all know. But everybody after that.
I don't know. But what I'm going to find out is here in a second here. Like I said, Thursday is
here yet?
Yeah. I think he went to the bathroom. He washing his hands. Here's what I'm going to say. What was I going to say? Oh, it's in Green Bay for whatever reason. It's in Green Bay. What was I going to say here? I forgot my thoughts. Hold up. Dang, Street punching the cheese head in the face right now. Holy smoke. Slow down, Street. You tearing them up. I think the cheese head said something stupid about the Dolphins. And Street giving them some blows. But anyway, really quickly as we pontificate and bloviate through this opening piece here of this 2025 really flawed 2025 NFL draft. It's going to be a roller coaster. But I was going to say Thursday starts the draft. That's what I was saying. Thursday starts the draft here. Everybody want to know who's number 1. Boy, can't wait to hear your number 1 pick, but we'll get there in a second. Matter of fact, we just jump on in. We got to make this thing rock and roll. Here we go.
You have to share my screen.
We will. I got you. We're gonna wrap this thing up. All right, here we go. We're gonna go with the first pick. Overall, really flawed. With the first pick from the Tennessee Titans, really flawed. Who do you say it is?
Well, put up my PowerPoint presentation so I can click the button.
I'm trying. Well, what LMPS supposed to be the producer?
So what I did for my 15 picks is I thought about like what I know from each team, thought about how I think they should draft, and then thought about like what makes the most sense. And I went into like, I care more about positional need because I feel like GMs and owners should pick based on positional need and not just like whatever. So that's what I did. So are we ready for this? Is Street going to make it?
He rolling. He coming on in right now. I think he getting some cane juice. And he don't even drink.
So I spent all day putting this PowerPoint presentation together. Okay, folks. So, really 27 minutes. Anyways, so my first pick in the NFL draft is going to be Tennessee Titans are going to select Cam Ward.
Hold up. I'm sorry, y'all. We got to celebrate. I know she want to explain flaw, but real quick, I got to remix. Shout out to Uncle Luke. I need to holler at your street. Put Uncle Luke on the screen. Guess what? What's that number 1 draft pick out there, Cam Ward? I say, What's that number 1 draft pick got that Cam Ward? Is it Shador? No. Huh? Is it Genty? No. Is it Travis? No. Is it? No. Go Cam. It's your birthday. Go. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I have Cam Ward mainly because I think it's obvious that they like him. I will be honest and say this pick was actually kind of hard for me because if they didn't pick Cam Ward, I would understand why, but I also understand why they would pick him. And so for me, playing in the AFC South, he is going to be playing against the Texans, the Jaguars, the Colts, and obviously he'll be on the Titans. And so if Tennessee gets Cam Ward, I think he probably has the potential to be one of the top 2 quarterbacks in that division. And in the NFL, all you need to do is win your division and you're in the playoffs. Now, the Houston Texans are going to have something to say about that. But if Cam Ward goes to the Titans, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked at all. And I think he's primed to go number 1. So I have him as my number 1 pick. And I'm just going to go with it. I'm just going to leave that where it's at. Now, if I was to pick number 1, if I was the GM of the Titans, I don't know if I'd pick him number 1, but I think he's a solid number 1. So I picked him here, and that's what we're doing.
Hold up, real quick. I got 2 questions. First of all, Reggie, the Coleman's are pumping the air right now, cursing at the screen. But Reggie says, Coach Hayes football, what play is that Flawed has on the slide? It is the infamous push tush or tush push. It's the infamous tush push play. That's exactly what that is. The tush push play right there. Second is, it sounds like I hear a little disdain in your voice for Cam Ward. Please don't say no, it's not. What I want to ask you now, really, Flawed, since you said that Cam Ward would not be your.
Yeah, if I was the GM of the Tennessee Titans, I would go for a pass rusher, mainly because in that division, you have the Houstons who don't have a great offensive line. You have the Jacksonville Jaguars who don't have a good offensive line. And you have the Colts whose offensive line is skeptical. My point is, in the AFC South, good defenses usually reign supreme. And so for me, and a team in a division where defense usually ends up turning the tide, I would potentially go defense, but it's not my pick. And I think they're going to go with Cam Ward. I don't think they're going to pass up on Cam Ward. And honestly, my pick might be a better fix for the team for the next 2 years. Cam Ward might be a great pick for the next 15 years. So I get it. I get it. So that's why I have him there. I think it makes sense. When I think about the AFC South, I don't know. That's how I feel. But it's one of those things, like if I was in a room, I would have an opinion. And if a couple of people come to me and change my mind, I would be like, okay, I get it. I understand that. We can do that. That works for me. That's kind of how I see it. So.
All right. So there it is. Number 1 pick overall is Cam Ward out of the University of Miami to the Tennessee Titans based on a really flawed draft. Here we go. Number 2 pick overall is in.
It is the Browns, and I have Travis Spider-Man Hunter.
Clap it up. We're only doing this for the first 5. All right, that's enough. Travis Spider-Man. I'm sorry. Travis Spider-Man Hunter.
Yeah.
Pick number 2 to the Browns, DB wide receiver. Is he playing both? I know he's come out and said that if he doesn't play both, he won't play football. I don't know how true that is, but what do you think he does at the Browns? Is he primarily, where does he play most of his ball? 51%, offense or defense?
So I think he is going to start on defense because the Browns are in the AFC North and their attitude right now is defense. And I think, in my personal opinion, the hardest thing for Travis Hunter to do, in my personal opinion, is going to be to play DB. And so I think they start there. I think Travis Hunter is a natural wide receiver. So I think that's going to be a little bit of an easier skill for him to pick up and to go forward. But I think playing DB in the AFC North, I think will be important for him. However, his flexibility is why I have him here, because I think the Browns can really benefit from the flexibility. I think he's going to be fine at receiver. I think once he learns DB, he'll be fine. I also think what I know about the Browns, because they're in my division, they always struggle at getting solid DBs, solid safeties, solid secondary people that can stay healthy. That is their biggest thing. And so I think Travis Hunter gives you a little bit of stability, and I think it helps their offense and defense. And so I like Travis Hunter going to the Browns. And yeah, so that's what I have.
All right, there it is.
Yep.
At number 3, the New York Giants. The pick is in.
Here's where it gets interesting. I have the New York Giants selecting Armand Mimbo. I don't know if that's how you say his name. So
From where?
Here's from Missouri. So here's my favorite part of the draft. So again, I'm looking at these teams based on what they need. And so when I look at what teams need, you got Wilson, you got Winston, you have 2 quarterbacks that can do the job. That Giants offensive line is abysmal. It is absolutely abysmal. And I don't think that having a bad offensive line for another year is going to be good for the Giants. So if I was playing GM, I would go with an offensive lineman. I think the other thing to note here, ever since the season has ended, everybody has talked about how bad this draft is for quarterbacks. These quarterbacks are not as good as other quarterbacks. We keep hearing it over and over and over. If that is true, why take a quarterback when your offensive line is absolutely atrocious? Like not average, bad. Like bad. And it's been bad for a few years. I like this guy. He plays well at Missouri. He's quick. He gets off the ball. He looks great on the offensive line, and they need offensive linemen bad. So for my money, I'm going number 3, and I'm going offensive tackle. That's what I'm doing. That's what I think.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, we said we would clap it up for the first 5. All right, clap it up for our mom Mimbu from Mizzou off in his joint. All right, number 4.
And let me just say something. I know a lot of people want Abdul Carter right there. If you go research anything with the Giants, the Giants do not struggle at defensive line. If they pick him, he's just going to be in addition to. But the Giants do not struggle for defensive linemen. They suck at offensive line. So if you want Abdul Carter just because you want him, great. But again, I think sometimes we forget on the players we actually need to make our teams better. Abdul Carter doesn't really improve your team because your offensive line still sucks. That's my personal opinion. So just want to throw that out there. So that's what I think.
There it is.
Awesome. So my next number 4 pick in the NFL
I gotta do the intro. The intro. Dun, 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 dun. The pick is in. The New England Patriots
select Will Campbell, offensive tackle, LSU. And I believe he was.
All right, that's enough.
I would be shocked if the Patriots passed on Will Campbell here, mainly because the Patriot way is building out inside out. They believe like they have the same philosophy I have. And so I would actually be shocked if they didn't go offensive lineman. And I think it's a safe pick. I think it's a great pick. I think it sets them up for the next 10 years. And so I like it. I like him playing also in that division. So that's the other thing I like about him being there. So he's in the AFC East. So that is my number 4 pick. Will Campbell, LSU.
So what does Will Campbell bring? What does he bring coming from LSU? Do we know what is he bringing?
Yeah, he's just a solid offensive lineman. Like he does everything right. Good feet.
Solid.
Quick. Yeah. Oh, right. He's solid. Yeah, he's solid. So
he's solid.
Okay. And he played really great talent, had a great year. I like him going to the Patriots. So I put him there. That's who I would pick because that's what I wanted to do.
He's solid.
He's solid. So
all right.
As long as he's solid.
Number 5, the 5th worst team in the country this year. Goes to the Jacksonville, as really flawed calls them, Jaguars. Never heard that one before.
It is my accent.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going with Mason Graham, defensive tackle from Michigan, mainly because they.
All right, that's enough.
It up for Michigan. They need it. They need it bad. They need Mason Graham. I mean, yes. So they need a defensive tackle. Mason Graham gets off the ball. He's quick. He can stop the run. He can do everything you want a defensive tackle to do, and he can get in the way. That is literally I want my defensive tackles to get in the way and disrupt some stuff. And Mason Graham has the ability to do that. I think it's a great pick for Jacksonville. And honestly, they're a team right now that needs a lot. And I think when you need a lot, you kind of start with that front. And so, yeah, and like I said before, when I was talking about Cam Ward, if he goes there, that helps their defensive line. And in the AFC South, I feel like that's going to slow down some of those quarterbacks. So I like him there.
So I know he plays interior. Abdul Carter is an outside linebacker / defensive end, depending on how he's playing. Mm-hmm. Why Graham over Carter?
Because they need a defensive tackle bad.
Okay.
Need. And I think the other thing is too is, we'll get to him. We'll get to him. We'll get to him.
Chad said Jacksonville is a mess.
Jacksonville is a mess. That is true. And yeah, and like I said before, I think some teams need certain things. Now, are they going to do it? Well, no, because they never do what they need. They do things and then people are like, what was that? But I think, and I think the other thing is too, for me, when my team is not good, I want to start from the foundation, and the foundation is an offensive lineman or defensive lineman and build that thing up. So most bad teams, you will find they need an offensive lineman or defensive lineman. You won't find, well, unless you're the Kansas City Chiefs and you have Patrick Mahomes, it's very rare that you're going to find a team that is good that needs offensive linemen, because that's what makes your team good. Anyways.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Pick number 6 overall are the Las Vegas Raiders.
The Las Vegas Raiders, I have them taking Kenneth Grant from Michigan, the other defensive tackle. Yeah, so here's why. The Raiders are in the AFC West, and they play the Kansas City Chiefs, and they play the Los Angeles Chargers. And because they play those two teams and the Denver Broncos, they're going to need somebody to help them stop the run. And last year, the Raiders defense stopping the run was a joke, like a joke. So I think they need to shore up that defensive line. I also know that, what is his name? Pete Carroll, he focuses on defense and he focuses on building up that defensive line. And similar to Grant in my personal opinion. They both bring a little bit of dynamic to them, but I like their ability to just get in there and disrupt a play. Get in there and have the running back run right into your arms. Like, that's what you want. You want a big guy in there that can clog up the middle. So I have Grant there. This one was the hardest one for me, if I'm being honest, because I think the Raiders are actually a wild card. And I honestly don't know what the Raiders are going to do. So, and I even tried to, I don't know what the Raiders are going to do. So this is the one that I was like, I'm just going to go with what I think, but I don't know what the Raiders are going to do. The Raiders, I don't know what they're going to do. Like, I could see them trading and going to, so Reggie just typed it, but the Raiders, so before we went live, I told Coach Hayes, I'm like, there's a couple of teams that I could see them actually trading to go get more draft picks. If I were the Raiders, I could see the Raiders trading out of this pick right here and going to get more draft picks, because the Raiders need more draft picks because their team's just not very good right now. So, and the Raiders need like offensive line, defensive line, cornerbacks, receivers, running backs, like they need everything. So I could see them trading back, but I didn't want to do that because then it was going to throw off everything.
I understand that, but here's my question. Yeah. They bring in Tom Brady, still there, right?
Yeah, he's
still there. There were a lot of links to, and we still haven't gotten to Shador, and there were a lot of talk about him coming to the Raiders because of Tom Brady and the connection. Why not Tom Brady? Why not Tom Brady? Why not Shador Sanders in that spot?
So the reason why
is there such a mess?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a connection. Like I said, I personally, I think there's 2 wild cards in the top 15. I think the Raiders are one, and I think the Saints are one. If the Raiders pick Shador here, I would not be shocked at all. Whatever the Raiders do with pick 6, I'm not shocked. If they trade it back, I'm not shocked. If they get an offensive lineman, I'm not shocked. If they get a receiver, which would be dumb as hell, I'm not shocked, because they need so much. And usually when you need a lot, if you're smart, you would trade this pick and go get a couple of other picks. So I wouldn't be shocked if they traded this pick, honestly, or if they got Shador. I just don't know. They were the one team where I was looking at my list and I'm like, I don't know what these guys are going to do.
All right, well, there you got it.
I don't know.
We were still waiting on you.
Yeah.
With the number 7 pick, it's still in. Number 7 pick, the New York Jets. Jets, suck. Sorry, that's a rival to my beloved Miami Dolphins. Who you got?
So I have the Jets taking a tight end, and I have Tyler Warren. I believe Tyler Warren went to Penn State. So I have them taking Tyler Warren mainly because I think he's the best tight end in the draft, in my opinion. And I think the Jets need a tight end, especially now that they have Justin Fields as their quarterback. I think they're going to need a good check down for him. And I think Tyler Warren is going to be a great tight end. I think that, I don't really have much to say here. I will be honest, though, the Jets usually do things where I'm like, what the was that? So to me, again, if I was the Jets GM, knowing the head coach they just got from Detroit and knowing that Detroit used their tight end, I'm hoping that means that the Jets are going to use their tight end. And if so, you're going to want that tight end to be good. And so therefore, I have Tyler Warren going to the Jets.
And now this is the young man, I believe number 44. It was kind of there, as they like to say, Swiss Army knife, the jack of all trades for Penn State, right? He threw, caught, ran, passed, all that kind of stuff. I mean, he's a tight end, but he's got a skill set, right? Not overly fast, but maybe hella athletic in that sense, right? So, all right.
Yeah, and I think he'll be good for. I think he'll be good for.
Would a Dallas Clark be a good comparison?
I mean, you can say that.
Okay.
You can say that. I cannot think of the guy. I cannot think of the tight end for the Lions last year.
Who cares? It's the Lions. They suck.
Yeah. Anyways, they have that guy. They have that offensive coordinator there.
All right, here we go. Number 8. The Carolina Panthers with the 8th pick overall. Who you got?
Jalen Walker.
All right, Jalen Walker in the building.
Yeah, linebacker from Georgia. Listen, he's from Georgia. He's going to play. He's going to do all the things you need him to do. He's fast. He's quick. He's like that. so I'm Jalen Walker, 100%. If he drops and the Steelers can steal him, go get him. I don't think he will, though. I think he's perfect for the Panthers. The Panthers need something. And I think he is perfect for them. He's perfect for their defense. He's going to give them something on defense that they can rally around. And I like my defense building around Jalen Walker. Absolutely. Any day of the week and twice on Sundays.
Now, quickly, because I know you're an expert of all experts, and I know you coach Mel Kiper. What would be the difference to the novice that hears Jalen Walker linebacker versus Abdul Carter outside linebacker? Why he not picked?
So I like Jalen Walker for that defense. I think his flexibility allows him to play because he can be in coverage. Like he can do a multitude of different things. And the Panthers really need that. And so that's why I have him here. Again, my personal opinion, I think he's just a better Panther than Abdul Carter. I also want to go on record and say, this isn't against Abdul Carter at all. I just feel like what team needs as far as attitude, as far as skill set, I have him here. And the other thing I always say is somebody has to drop, right? Like everybody can't be top like 10. It just can't happen. And so I have Abdul Carter at this second, as we haven't continued. At this second, I haven't picked him yet. So
all right. So here real quick before we go into our supplemental draft, before we get to our next one. We got a supplemental spot here.
Okay.
But real quick, y'all clap it up for Mr. Relevant in the
building. Welcome.
You on mute, cuz.
Hold on. Now, I can't write in time now.
You can't write in time, man. So
check this out. Incoming.
Oh, God. What we got? Hold on, I can't. I got too much stuff on the stage. Let's see what we got going on here. Hold on. I got all kind of dots going on, dog. This is terrible.
All kind of dot.
Man, hold on. I got to take this off to put this on, to put that up. All right, hold on. It's hot out here. What you got? Who is this?
Oh, yeah. Who was that?
I don't know. We can't hear it.
It's my pick. We can't hear him.
No?
No. Basketball explosive. Cut the tape. Interview over, man. We don't need to say nothing else. I feel like having other sports.
Yeah, Jalen Walker. That's what
That's my pick.
I interviewed Jalen Walker maybe 2 years ago when he was a freshman at Georgia. Son of a coach. Been around football his whole life.
Glad you just said son of a gun.
No, he one of them gym rats.
I got you.
His attitude is exact like they need him. And but again, I get to play what I get to pick what I like. So I like him. So he's my pick.
It is. All right.
So yeah.
So Street, real quick, man. I know it was in the back. I saw
you go back, Street?
No, I saw you fighting the cheesehead. I saw you fighting that cheesehead for talking about our dolphin. You were whooping him good. But you so smooth, you didn't even lose your shades.
Who we got so far? Shador went yet?
Nah.
Shador we're going back just for you. So first pick we had Cam Ward. The second pick we had Travis Hunter. Travis Spider-Man Hunter. And then number 3 we had the offensive tackle from Missouri. That's who that is.
Uh-huh.
And then the Patriots we had Will Campbell, the offensive lineman from LSU. Then Mason Graham, Jaguars from Michigan. The Raiders. Kenneth Grant. The Jets, Tyler Warren. And then the Panthers, Jalen Walker.
So there we are.
You got Jalen Walker's going that early? No,
yeah.
Shamar Stewart? Okay.
Nope. I like Jalen Walker. Sign me up. Okay.
Where pick number 9 is in. The New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints pick.
Here it is, everybody. Here it is.
Shador Sanders. I'm sorry.
Shador Sanders.
Recently retired number 2, Shador Sanders. Talk to us, baby. What's up?
I mean, it's Shador Sanders, first of all. I like him in the dome. I don't know what's happening with Derek Carr. I feel like every day I look, they're like, he's going to be out this season. He's not going to be able to throw. He's not going to be able to do this. If he is doing all of these things that we don't know what he's going to do, the only real quarterback they have available is Spencer Rattler. And if that's the case, they're going to need a quarterback. And so I am going to take Shador over any of these people. And that's who I'm going to pick. I'm rolling with Shador. I don't need to talk about his stats or anything and all of that over here. We know it's Shador. And so, yeah, I would take Shador at the Saints. Again, I think all of this is dependent, and I'm going to say this again, on what the Raiders do and what the Saints do, because those are 2 picks that I don't know. I feel like the Raiders and the Saints are up to something. They have been too quiet, in my personal opinion. And if they're up to Shador and Zion and the Saints. Yeah. So anyways, if they're up to something, then obviously something else will happen. I think a lot of people think teams will trade up to get Shador, all the things. I don't know what's going to happen. So we're playing this as if there's no trades. No trades, just straight, just straight through.
Street, but to his credit, he's still the second quarterback off the board, right? Even though maybe overall pick 9, it's not like, according to a really flawed draft here, that Abdul Carter is still sitting in the woods.
He's still setting. Mm-hmm.
Right? And some people have him as the number 1 player overall so far as available. He may be the number 1 overall. He's still sitting there at now would be 10 on this thing. Man. So I still think, hell, it's a great accomplishment. I mean, it's not like some people were saying he's going to be the first pick, Travis going to be the second pick. Because a dude named Cam Ward came in the building.
Pumpkinhead also said he thinks Shador is going to the Saints. Mel Kiper.
Yeah, and like I said, depending on what the Raiders do, will depend on a lot of this. Because the Raiders
Nobody
can throw
knows what the
everything.
Raiders are going to do.
Yeah, nobody knows. That's what I'm saying. And usually when nobody knows what you're going to do, anything can happen. It would not shock me if they traded that spot. It would not shock me if they picked some. I don't know what the Raiders are going to do. All I know is Pete Carroll usually likes to build up his defensive line. Usually, the old Pete Carroll. That's all I got. I don't really know what he's going to do.
Well, here's what I do know. I know what the Raiders going to do when it comes to ownership. The owner got him a young girlfriend.
The Raiders owner has a young girlfriend?
Mark Davis?
I don't pay attention to those guys, honestly.
Yeah.
That's
So I had a conversation this morning with Shamar Stewart's camp, right? And where he may go first round. And he said the exact same thing, really flawed. Like even them nobody knows what the Raiders are going to do. And I always know what the other team is going to do. And he also told me that, have you did the Jaguars yet?
Yes. What did he tell you?
Well, that the Jaguars don't interview players before the draft. They're the only team that don't do it.
Yeah, I could see that. And a lot of these players, like I know, like for the Steelers and a couple of other organizations, they draft players they never bring on campus. So like as a Steelers fan, sometimes when they bring certain people on, I'm like, they're not going to draft him because everybody that we have drafted didn't even come on campus on that. So again, everybody's playing these mind games. That's why I always tell people, I have an opinion. I'm going to stand by my opinion. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. If it happens, it happens. We just keep it moving. Because I honestly don't think, yeah, it's not my team. It's not my money. And honestly, I don't think half these guys really know what they're doing anyway.
I agree with you on that. Yeah.
So
at least I have a reason.
Well, like I said, you got the same qualifications as some of them. Really flawed.
Exactly.
Here's what I will say. Again, shout out to Mark Davis, 69-year-old with a 26-year-old girlfriend. Y'all thought Bill Belichick was first. Nah, Mark Davis was the real Ray J. Anyway, here we going. Dun, 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 dun. Pick number 10 is in. The Chicago Bears.
The Chicago Bears, I have them taking an offensive lineman, and I have them taking Kelvin Banks. Offensive tackle from Texas. It is what it is. Like I've said with every other offensive lineman, the Chicago Bears offensive line is bad. Very, very, very bad. Similar to the Giants, similar to the Patriots. Everybody that I have taking an offensive lineman ranked in the bottom half and sometimes dead last in offensive line play last year. So I think the Bears, they obviously have Caleb Williams. So if they can get his left tackle in this draft, that is a win-win. If you have Caleb Williams for 15 years and his left tackle for 15 years, what is better than that? So that is my left tackle pick with Kelvin Banks. And yeah, so I have him there. He played for Texas. What do you want me to say? He's a left tackle, left tackles.
So what does he bring though? I mean, yeah, he's a left tackle.
Yeah. I mean, speed, ability to, I like him because he's a pulling tackle. If he needed to pull, he could pull. I like that he's just solid. He's solid. No, he has good feet. He's a technician. That is Kelvin Banks' biggest thing is he has really good footwork, really good. He's like a technician. Most people that are reviewing him, if you go look up anything they say with Kelvin Banks, is they always say is that he has really solid footwork. And he just does. And again, for a lot of people that don't know, when you're playing offensive lineman, a really great asset to have is amazing gotta because you can't be crossing your feet playing offensive line. Like you gotta dance. You gotta be like a dancing bear. So if you play offensive line, and if you watched my video where I was annoyed at Jordan Seaton, it was because when I'm watching offensive linemen, I don't want to watch your feet getting too close to each other. I need you to remain and stay stable, and I need you to move in unison with your body. Your body can't go one way and your feet don't go the same way. So I need you to be able to move and mirror your defender. So that is what I look for when I look for offensive linemen. And I think Kelvin Banks can do that. So that's my spiel.
Damn, Street. Bill Kiper got some comp on this thing.
Flawed up there cooking, huh? And man, Yeah, but Mel Kiper looked like Elvis Presley.
Hey, you saw what I said on my thumbnail.
She got a chest all greasy. Man, she came to play today, didn't she?
I didn't even talk football today.
Hey, you see what my thumbnail said, Mel Kiper, watch out. You understand me?
Yeah,
all right, here we go. Da, 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 da. 11 pick overall.
I was in the back laughing at you with these sound effects, though. That was fucking hilarious, dog.
I'm trying to make it happen.
Here we go. Here we go, everyone. Here we go.
Golly, y'all clap it up for the overall pick. Dang.
The reason why I held off Abdul Carter here is because I think the 49ers are a perfect place for him if they can get him. And again, because I'm playing GM and because I get to pick what I want to pick, I think Abdul Carter playing on the San Francisco 49ers is what edge dreams are made of. Like, sitting that man quick off the edge, get to the quarterback. He fits exactly every single thing the 49ers do on defense is Abdul Carter. My stubbornness could not let me place him anywhere else because I think he's supposed to be a 49er. And that's just how I feel. And I've always felt that way. And I think he's a perfect fit for them. So I had to trust my gut and put him there. So it has nothing to do with his skill set. It has everything to do with, I think the 49ers are a perfect team for him to play on.
Are you feeling some Bosa vibes in there? Is that what it is?
Yeah, well, that, and I like, so they have Robert Saleh from the Jets. He's a great defensive coach. And I know for a fact he can make Abdul Carter phenomenal. And so again, my stubbornness would not let me place. I will be honest with you. When I did this and I was texting and I was like, how many am I going to do until 10? And I said 15. I wanted to have until 15 so I could put Abdul Carter on number 11 because he would like, I need him to go to the Niners. I think he would be, yeah. Anyways, so I think he'll be great.
So the coach that got fired from the JETS suck is now the defensive line coach?
The defensive coordinator, because he's a phenomenal defensive coach. That's his bread and butter. Yeah, that's his bread and butter. He was there before. And so if he could get his hands on Abdul Carter, I think it's game changing. I don't know if he's going to fall that far, but if he goes there, he is made to be a 49er. That's how I feel. So
Street, I'm going to let you introduce the next one, but I'm going to hit the button. Ready? Where your helmet at, cuz? Hold up. After these messages, we'll be right back. Elevator. Music.
What the hell is that,
I was trying to give him an introduce. Well, yeah.
They go get them.
You literally had one job.
One job.
One job. One job. So now we're on a commercial break.
Listen, if you want to buy a new lawnmower, just go to CoachHayesFootball.com to get the latest technological edge in cutting your lawn. All right.
I would like to say if you haven't
this show has been sponsored by Big Boy Lawnmowers.
If you haven't, yeah. I think the other thing too that's fun about doing this is what I was thinking is, so I made this list and then I looked back through this list and I was like, I have not one single receiver, corner, safety. I'm like, give me
running back.
I'm like, no, I'm spending. Oh my
God. With the number 12 pick overall, the
Dallas Cowboys.
Can I be honest about this pick? It's kind of a troll. Okay, listen. I've watched the Dallas Cowboys draft for a lot of years, and they always do something where I'm like, what the F was that pick? Always in their first pick, I'm always like, what the F? So I gave them this guard from North Dakota State because I think they're going to get an offensive lineman for sure. I think which offensive lineman they're going to get, I wasn't sure. And so what I did was I picked the offensive lineman that I probably wouldn't pick on the Cowboys. And so that's how I came to this conclusion. Okay. Nothing fancy, nothing dynamic. However, I think the North Dakota State guard is actually pretty good. And I think he's dynamic. I think he's going to be a stable guy for the Cowboys. And honestly, I don't trust anything the Dallas Cowboys do at this point. So I'm giving them a guard from North Dakota State. I don't know. It makes sense to me. I don't know why. That's all I can say. So I'm just going with it.
So the one question everybody's asking in the chat right now is, how many sacks did he give up against Colorado? That's the only time people watch North Dakota State.
Probably not very many. Because if you go research him, he's a really good guard. He's really good. So that's the thing. And if I have any Cowboy fans in here, you know what I'm saying. Like every year they do something in the first round and you're like, who did they pick? Who? Okay, who? Where did he go to school? And you have to go search it. And I feel like I do that every year. So staying true to myself, or staying true to what I feel like when the Cowboys pick, I decided to go with the North Dakota State guard here for the Dallas Cowboys. So that is my answer.
And
you know what?
Hold up. Number 13 pick is in. Are
you going to sing the song?
Excuse me. Thank you kindly. Miami has the Dolphins. Excuse me. Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We move the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air. We're on the ground. We're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl because we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins #1 because we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins #1. Laces out, Dan. Laces out. Sorry. I'm back.
We're street left?
No, I don't know what Street doing. Street, he just, I think he went to practice. I think he got so fired up, he went to Dolphin training camp.
Okay, so the Dolphins pick that I have is going to be Walter Nolan. Good old Walter Nolan from Ole Miss. I think, according to my notes that I took, my very detailed notes, the Dolphins need this position very bad. The Dolphins need a lot of positions. So, at this point. And sticking true to myself and picking guys that I think can make an immediate impact, I picked Walter Nolan. And honestly, I could argue this pick. I don't know what the Dolphins are going to do either. So, I don't think they need much on offense. Well, no, I lied. They need an offensive line and a defense line. Yeah. So the Dolphins, good luck, Dolphins. Yeah. So they're my pick. And if you're going to win that division in the AFC East, you're going to have to get pressure on Josh Allen, period. You're going to have to be able to get pressure on Justin Fields if he's going to be the quarterback for the Jets. So in the Patriots, they're kind of rebuilding whatever they're doing. But I know for a fact a lot of the teams in the AFC East have pretty decent defensive lines. And so the Dolphins need to keep up with that. And so that's why I placed Walter Nolan here. So that's my 2 cents.
Oh, Street. We got some action. We got action, dog.
We got action.
You wanna know what? You wanna know how you know you got action?
How you know?
Da, 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 da. The 14th pick overall for the Indianapolis Colts goes to
Tyler Booker, offensive guard. And he, for those of you that don't know, I believe he played at Alabama. Let me double check. The fact that I didn't write that down lets me think that I was right. Yeah.
He did play at Alabama.
Yep. Played at Alabama, plays guard. I know a lot of people, especially if you're a Cowboys fan, you're probably hoping the Cowboys get Tyler Booker and not the guy from North Dakota State. You guys can fight it out. I don't really care. Both of you need guards. So whatever you do, you need a guard. And the other thing about the Colts is they like to run the ball, and you can't run the ball without a good offensive line. Again, their offensive line, I think, was ranked number 22 or 23. So they need offensive linemen. Their offensive line was not very good last year. And so the best way to fix that is to draft a good offensive lineman. So, and Tyler Booker, in my opinion, very athletic, very good run blocking. And I think he fits, again, this is where my football knowledge tailors a little bit. I think he fits really well in the scheme that the Colts run based on my very slither of research I did before I put him on my list. So I think he's agile enough. I think he's quick, similar to what we said before. I think he's wide enough to play the guard position. And so I like him. He gets in people's ways. At the very minimum, you have to be able to do that when you play offensive line. So
Incoming, Hayes.
I gotta do some work here. Hold on. All right, here we go. Boom.
Who is that?
Dog got on the cameo shirt.
You recently committed.
I didn't realize he went to IMG.
Yes, sir, roll Tide.
When did you commit?
When I committed July 16th.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
You been up there on a visit?
I have. I went on that was my last official visit, and I had been there before for the Nick Saban football camps when I was younger. So it's crazy to see everything come full circle, going to Alabama as a camper and just trying to soak everything up. And now about to be a player in January is just truly a blessing.
No, it is a blessing, bro. It's good to look at it that way. Have you went on any other visits? Did you go to
again?
He was the kid that said he went to IMG to like get his ass kicked in practice. He said I went there, so yeah. He said I went there to compete, and dog, and that was impressive. You remember this, Hayes? When that day he said he went there so he can lose in practice, and he talked about how the guy before him beat him up in practice every day. I forget the defensive lineman name.
No, I went to Florida, Oregon. I love you. All the support I need, and somewhere somebody's trying to take my job every day, and I love that feeling. I love that pressure of.
He talked about it right here.
You got to go in time.
Yep. And that was Oregon.
Yes, sir.
So what was it about Alabama? What was it about Alabama that made you say, man, I got to talk about Alabama?
It reflected. It's the school that most reflected IMG in the sense of there's some place where I'm going to be pushed, somewhere I'm going to get all the support I need, and somewhere somebody's trying to take my job every day, and I love that feeling. I love that pressure of how they're trying to recruit a 5-star tackle for the next year, trying to replace me. Just the same thing they did with Evan Neal when they brought in JC. And they brought in JC, one of my close friends of mine from IMG, and now they're recruiting me, so it never stops. So I'm always gonna have to stay on my toes and really just be that guy all the time.
That gets it.
Okay, so I've interviewed some of the best high school players in the nation. Since I've been doing football, Bill. I've never heard anybody say that.
Really?
That he was raised with. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? He used it as a tool, right? And that's the thing about it, right? He used them and they used him, right? And that's the now that because y'all know how I feel about IMG, but if a young man goes into that mindset, I have no problems with that. I love that answer. Awesome.
Yep.
Answer.
And I like it's like you can't beat them at the game, so just play it. Use it to your advantage. You can't stop them from recruiting. You just can't.
Oh yeah, that's somebody who he's trying to get better.
Yeah,
like you can't really go wrong with a kid like that. Like he's trying to get better. Hey, yeah, bring somebody else in. I need a reason to do these 2 more reps.
I like it.
No, I love it. All right. We're not doing the whole round. We're only doing the first 15 off enough joint. So we to the last one. All I'm going to tell you is dun, 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 dun. Let me hit that dirty bird, baby. Let me hear that dirty bird. A-Town Stomp with the 15 pick overall. The Atlanta Philliakions. The Philliakions. Shout out to Papa Doe, sponsored this segment. Who you got, really?
I picked James Pierre, defensive lineman from Tennessee. I like him. I think he's quick off the edge. I think they need that. When I watched the Falcons last year, they needed a pass rush. They needed somebody to be able to disrupt the game, and they just didn't have anybody that could disrupt the game. And so I think he's a disruptor. I think he is quick around the edge. And I think he fits what they're trying to do there at the Falcons. Every time I think I know what the Falcons are trying to do, they do something that I don't understand. So I think he fits what they're trying to do. And I like him there. I like that he has played also in the SEC and played that competition, because I know a lot of these guys, that matters when they're going to programs, like when they're going to places that don't have a lot of their like people around them. Sometimes I think it helps them having that mentality going into training camp. And so I like it. And I think the Falcons need somebody that can rush the passer and disrupt the Falcons need somebody that can do something. Just get somebody in there that can do something. And I think he can do it. So he rounds off my top 15. I like him. I like what he brings to the table. And I think that he has all the skill sets that the Falcons can really use. So yeah, that's how I feel.
Y'all clap it up for a really flawed 2025 mock draft. Y'all clap it up. I said
you didn't run it.
Y'all clap it up.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah. And just so we know, the other thing is I have like a player that I think is going to be the sleeper of the draft, and I have Ollie Gordon, because I think no one's talking about him. I haven't seen him anybody's paper, anybody's anything. I think Ollie Gordon is going to be a sleeper of this draft. And then the other thing I'll say, for those of you who don't know how any of this works, or you're learning this process, I want to tell you how I come to my decisions, because I think it will help people understand how this craziness goes. Before the draft, everywhere you go, they're going to have something where they tell you the players that teams need. And they're going to list out like their top team need. So I trusted my eye test, and I know what happened in free agency. And so I used all of those things, made my list, and then looked at the people that the people said that they needed. And then I filled out my sheet. So a lot of the people that I picked first are because everywhere had those teams needing those positions first. So FYI, just throwing that in there.
So yeah. Is there a way we could run back through them really fast so we can just clip that? I can clip that part for you.
Yeah, we can do that. Or if you guys have questions while you're talking, I can type up something that will actually show it all at the same time. You like that better, or you want it all?
Just say them out your mouth right now.
Hold on. Let me just do this dono, and I'm gonna take this off the screen, and you can do it. Reggie for the $5 bonus pick.
Let me pull out the sheet.
Reggie for the $5 bonus pick. Really flawed. Would you pick another UGA defender for the Eagles for the $5 going for them?
In a second.
Stetson Bennett. Oh, not bad.
No.
Carson.
Yes.
Yeah, Miami.
Yes, I would in a second.
Where's the kick with the glasses?
Who?
Remember they had the kick with the glasses, number 94?
Yeah, he's at the Eagles.
Damn.
You talking about Stuart Little?
Kirby Smart to the Eagles.
No.
Thanks, Rich.
Hold on. I'm just trying to. So let me just show you what I'm typing so that you can see. Is it on here? It's on here. Yeah, I just didn't finish it. You want me to fill this out, Street? Would that be easy?
No, I just want you to say it. Let me see. Fill what out.
Just say them in a row.
Oh, you can fill it out live now?
Yeah, I can do it real quick. That's what I'm saying. If y'all keep talking, I'll get it done in like 3 minutes.
So while she's doing that,
this looks really cool what Hayes created right here, though.
I appreciate
what Hayes created. Oh,
yeah,
you're talking about
background.
That. I'm feeling offended. I'm like, what Hayes created?
I'm just saying.
29 minutes on this graphic.
Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go through the list and talk about it. She can go through and read it, but I want to make some comparisons as she does that, as she fills in that list. So here we are, Street, really quickly. I'm gonna show you some disparities based on her as an expert and Mel Kiper as not an expert. All right, here we go. They agree on Cam Ward. They agree on Travis Hunter. And she has Armand Boo, offensive tackle from Mizzou to the Giants. He has Abdul Carter. They agree. Will Campbell to the Patriots. They agree. Mason Graham to the Jags. They disagree. Kenneth Grant to the Raiders. He has Genty going to the Raiders. You got disagree on Tyler Warren to the Jets. He has Armand Mububu going to the Jets. They agree Jalen Walker going to Carolina Panthers. They agree Shedeur Sanders going to the Saints. And here's where the strikeout happens. They don't agree on nothing else. Oh, yeah. Number 10 through 15.
Hey, tell me what he has.
Our own really flawed has Kelvin Banks going to the shop over Tyler Warren. Abdul Carter to the 49ers over Will Johnson. Greg Zabel to Dallas over Amarion Hampton at running back. Walter Nolan to Miami over Jadot Barron from, I think it's Texas. Jade. I'm sorry. Tyler, who in the F is this to Indianapolis? Who do you have to Indianapolis?
Tyler Warren.
Is that what that said? That don't say Warren. I don't know. But Tyler, somebody going to Indianapolis over Colston Loveland, the tight end from Michigan. And last is James Pierre to Atlanta over Mike Green. It goes to show you how shaky, baby, it gets when you get to 10 and beyond. So, talk to us, Street.
Wait, we got that many the same in the top 10?
In the top 10, you got 7 the same. 7 out of 10. No, that's apologize to 6 the same out of the top 10. 6 out of 10.
Next Monday we gotta have we gotta have our really flawed versus their picks and see how bad she kicked their ass.
Yeah.
That's right. Give me an A. Give me an S.
So you ready?
Because he had more running. One more time. Oh wait, hold on. Give me a second. He had more Bears. He had more offensive or like receivers and stuff than I did. I left those guys alone.
Yeah, she didn't have any.
Nope.
Shay, you tough on your boy. She didn't have any pretty much skilled guys outside of a quarterback. I'm trying to think who else at tight ends was a skill in essence, and that's it. No running back, no receivers in the top 15 picks. Holy smokes! What is that saying?
Friday draft night. When is draft night?
Thursday,
Friday. We can jump back in here on Thursday and I don't know, put a little wage on it. Maybe we pay for everyone she get right. We pay her. She get some paid, or she got to take off a piece of clothes or something. I don't know.
So I get right and I got to take off my clothes. Now that is funny. That is so funny.
Yeah, come on, just come in with a bunch of clothes on.
Hey, can you call out the draft picks for me, the order? I think I have these backwards.
All right, let me do this for Reggie right quick for the $10. Appreciate you, Coach H Football. You guys should do this again on draft night and have Really Flawed do her picks again and see how many she gets right and Mel gets wrong. There it is for the $10. We're gonna make it happen.
I would never forget when Dan Lebertard took actors and had them pick NFL games. Who do you think is going to win? Cleveland Browns or the Raiders? And then they would take the actors picks versus the pro bettors picks. And whoever the guess was, it was almost like back and forth. Who was getting it right? I think
let's
see. What?
Especially if I had more than like 7. Like seriously, this took me. I'm not even kidding. If you show the screen, I think it's ready.
Here's what I'll say before we show it. Really Flawed. Can I add? Matter of fact, I'm gonna ask Street because you asked earlier.
What up?
Because I took copious notes. Let me turn it like this. I take copious notes. I know my light is a little bright. However, I'm gonna hold up 2 resumes here. Tell me which one is which. Are you ready?
Okay.
Tell me how much more qualified Mel Kiper is. And then Really Flawed. I'll wait. What's on his resume that's different than her resume?
ESPN.
In the words of Tony, not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. No.
If I'm telling y'all, I don't think it. I always tell a story. We used to talk to Mel Kiper every year before the draft. Like we would get all the media would get in a call and we get to talk to Mel Kiper. And really flawed. The most interesting thing was it's not about him being right. It's the fact that he is entertaining as he does it. And even on the phone, he was entertaining. You can ask him about anybody, and he had an answer. And I don't know if it's because he has a good memory, like Larry Bluestein. Like it's something that he has, and he's entertaining the way he presents it. Tom McShay isn't. We used to talk to him too, and you could tell he was Googling shit. But Mel Kiper, you could ask him anything. You could be like, Mel Kiper, Mrs. Hayes, she plays out in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. What do you know about her? Where's she getting drafted at? Mrs. Hayes. That's a.
Hold on, I can tell you right now. Let me tell you something about Mrs. Hayes. She can pull like nobody's business. She got very good pad level. Her feet are always the same. And like really flawed stated, she never crosses her feet. She keeps them open 24/7.
Bro, he had an answer for everybody like that. And it was the way he presented it, which made it entertaining. It didn't matter if he was right. It's probably just his memory. He probably has a memory where he can remember a lot of things, and he just presents. It's just entertaining. He doesn't get it right. I want y'all to understand that. We're going to prove that this year.
But here's the thing, Street, to your point, before I put this on the screen for you. Like I told people, it's about how you present information. If you say it with confidence, just like I said, let me tell you something, Street. Miss Hayes can pull like nobody's business. She reminds me. Yeah. And as you're talking, you're thinking, she pulls like nobody's business. Let me tell you something. She keep up. You speak in cliches. You speak in confidence. And what do? When people are like, damn, he know what the hell he's talking about. Because how many people will go back and fact check you? And what they're going to do is take that information and run to the barbershop and be like, you know what? But Miss Hayes, I seen her pull one time. And boy, she laid a dude out. Remember I did that to a dude that was on my show about the kid from Texas? He was like, yeah, he sure did. The kid never played. He didn't even play at Texas. Yeah. And he was like, you right, coach. That kid do it pull right. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let me put this on the screen for you. Today is a rough day when it comes to producing this damn thing. Okay, here we go.
Hold on, let me make it. While it's showing, I can make it prettier.
Oh God.
No, I'm just. Oh, it's not on the screen. Why is it not on the screen? It's on my screen. Oh wait, hold on.
Let me do
there
this.
It is. No, there it is.
All right, here we go. All right, let me put myself over here.
Oh, I put LSU. Hold on, let me change it. No, I'm not going to take it down. Who was Patriots? Did you ever read out who was the picks for me?
No, I thought you. Okay, here we go. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Amon Membu, Will Campbell, Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Tyler Warren, Jalen Walker, Shador Sanders, Kelvin Banks, Abdul Carter, Greg Zabel, Walter Nolan, Tyler Booker, couldn't get it right, and James Pierre from the Falcon. Somebody keeps saying, who is James Pierre? Is that the right name? Because that's the second time you said it. So I'm making sure that's the
James
right name.
James Pierre from Tennessee. Hold on, let me double check.
We don't want you to go viral on that thing and it be, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Or is it might be James Pierce. Hold on.
So yeah, is it a way we can make,
you know what's funny? Oh my God. The fact that I said that's funny.
Is it a way we could put her up there next to her list and let her just rattle them off real fast? So at first I have
hold on a second. Let me get the right
name. You can just click
that. What do you want me to do?
James Pierce.
I want him to put you
the wrong name up there.
And I want you to go through them one by one. So first, Cam Ward for the Titans, Travis Hunter and the Browns, like that.
Okay. It's Pierce. James Pierre plays for the Steelers. Oh, God. The fact that I said that is actually really funny. Okay, there we go. James Pierce. Sorry, James Pierre. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm sorry. And
wait, how do you want me to say this part? Sorry. Sorry. You want me to say the name and the team, name and the team, name and the team?
Just go through your picks. Yeah. First
Yeah,
half with some,
a
with some
really
confidence.
flawed, listen,
Yeah.
a really flawed 2025 NFL mock
There we
draft.
go.
Here are my
There
top
we go.
15 picks. Number one, Cam Ward to the Titans. Number two, Travis Hunter to the Cleveland
Yeah.
Browns. On my blue. And at the end, now Mel Kiper, take that.
Like some, yeah, like you know something. Like you got some inside stuff. Like you've been working, working your way inside, and you got some inside information. Say it like you mean. Say it with your chest. Really, Carl.
Say it with your chest.
Making me do this live is funny. Okay.
And knock him out with your chest.
Let me comb my hair.
Oh Lord, hair and makeup, please. Come on.
I don't have any makeup on. All right. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I think I can read.
Straight confidence, though.
I don't know how to say Armand Mimbo.
It don't matter. Just go through it. Mamimbo.
Ready.
And when I leave, count to three and then action.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. My top 15 mock draft for the 2025 NFL draft is going to start with Cam Ward is going to go to the Tennessee Titans.
Cut.
Travis.
Cut.
Travis.
Cut.
Spider-Man Hunter.
Cut.
Spider-Man Hunter.
Cut. Plug your stuff. This is a really flawed 2015. Action.
Okay. The fact that I'm doing this on live is basically torture, but that's okay. All right. Game face. Ready? And go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is my really flawed top 15 mock draft for 2025. We are going to start with Cam Ward going to the Tennessee Titans, Travis Spider-Man Hunter going to the Cleveland Browns, Armand Mimbu going to the New York Giants, Will Campbell is going to go to the New England Patriots, Mason Graham is going to the lovely Jacksonville Jaguars, Kenneth Grant is going to the Los Angeles Raiders, Tyler Warren will be playing at the New York Jets. New York Jets. Jalen Walker will be going to the Carolina Panthers. Shador Sanders will be going to the New Orleans Saints. Kelvin Banks, Hookem, will be going to the Chicago Bears. Abdul Carter will be going to the 49ers because he's going to excel there. Greg Zabel is going to be going to the Cowboys. Walter Nolan is going to the Dolphins. Tyler Booker is going to the Colts. And James Pierce Jr. is going to the Atlanta Falcons and can hopefully help that pass rush because they need it. That's all I got.
Perfect. And and when we're going to put your picks up
against, say Mel Kiper, take that, call him out, we could tag him.
I couldn't do that because I was worried that I was going to mess it up. But I think on the fourth take, I did pretty good. And I noticed. Oh wait, never mind. When I was reading it, I noticed.
What's the odds that everybody gets the number one pick wrong? If you had to say, is there any chance that everybody get that wrong?
Probably 3%.
If it is wrong, I think it's gonna be Abdul Carter. I think that would be my switch.
So what percent? Maybe say 3. Maybe
I would say about 5 to 10%.
About 5%. So so Miami Hurricanes is going to have a number one pick. I don't think I ever heard that. I've never seen it before.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Again, I always tell people I don't trust these NFL owners. I don't trust anything they have going on right now. So literally nothing is 100% guaranteed because they are a disaster. I mean, I don't know.
And Walter Nolan, I think Walter Nolan, Hayes, out of that number one class that went to Texas A&M, right? That Texas A&M took with Shamar Stewart, and I think Walter Nolan was in that class. And Hayes, I think he may be the only one getting drafted other than Shamar Stewart. I may be wrong.
That might be, Walter Nolan.
I think he may be the only one. Him and Shamar. Now they're going early. Mm-hmm. But I think they may be the only two from the class that get drafted.
Let me look at best available up here.
That's interesting. Oh yeah, that's what it was.
All right, let me see here. NFL. Check on the big board. You know what's funny? Now that you say this on a serious note, I don't know who in the world would want to play running back in today's football. I would not want to be a running back. I know, but I would not want to be a running back, bro.
It's short-sighted. You do it because you're famous as a kid and you get stuck there and realize that to the draft. I tell the story when Flowers blocked for Duke Johnson in high school. Duke was the star. He blocked for him in college. Duke was the star.
Oh, Eric Flowers.
Yeah. Draft night, we're sitting in the house with Duke Johnson. Guess who goes first round?
The other guy?
Eric Flowers. Offensive lineman? Yeah.
And he was in Duke Johnson's shadow for 8 years. 7 maybe. Draft night, first round, Eric Flowers. Everybody's like, "Man." And we're sitting there waiting on Duke, 3rd, 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
Todd Gurley went. The kid from Nebraska went. They thought Duke was too smart. And we're sitting in that house like, man, this Duke Johnson. Like, what's going on? He got his homeboys. They went upstairs. Like in a night where you think that it should be, it's a glorious night whenever it happens. But
and you know what's so crazy about that? I'll say the same thing even with but I'll say the same thing with Joe and all them going 6th pick. You know, you go from, and people can say what they want to say about the gameplay, but to your point, Street, is what you're talking about, the mindset of this kid or this young man. You go from having Wendy's NIL deal, you the man when you're walking through everywhere you go. You probably don't, you got crab legs like Jameis Winston's for the free. Everywhere you do, everything you do is on 10. But that NFL become the most humbling moment, because here's the best part. And to Vrabel's, to really Flaw's point about guards, I'm looking at best available up here. Guess who the number 1 guard is on the table?
Who?
Gray Vrabel from North Dakota State, right? I think about it. Donovan Jackson, big time cat from Ohio State. I broke his tape down, all of this stuff, right? And a dude from North Dakota State get drafted on top of you. Right? I'm just saying, think about that.
Y'all do know if I'm right about this pick, I'm never going to not.
If you're right about this pick, Street going shirtless on the show. Listen.
If I nailed that pick, you need
Oh, Street, hold up. I got to talk to you about this. Remind me, don't let you go. We got to talk about this. We got to call Luke on the phone. I got a business proposition for him. Right?
Oh, Lord.
No, I'm dead serious, dog. And I'll perform it for you. But I'm saying all this to say, you think about these guys at these premier programs, and a guy from a D2, North Dakota State, is ranked higher, right? Think about the Kool-Aid McKinstry's of the world, and the cat from Toledo get picked before you do. Like, that's a humbling experience, bro.
Is he really the number 1 guy on the draft board?
He's the number 1 for guards. Great Zabel.
That is so funny to me. That is so funny.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm not here to talk about how great I am at doing this kind of stuff, but
oh my God.
No, because when I wrote down his name, I was like, ooh, girl, you're stretching it. And then I was like, no, I feel like he, like, from what I've seen. And so anyways, the fact that you said that is funny. Here's my chicken scratch. See, can you see that? I have all the players that I wanted to put up there, and then I just placed them.
Oh, come on. Street for the $5. Can we get Kiki to do NFL version? Oh, what would Kiki pick? That would be.
Would you get her NFL draft picks?
Yeah, we can. But hold on, Street. Business proposition first. Reggie, appreciate the $5. All right, Street. Let's call Uncle Luke. I got a draft song for Cam Ward. Are you ready?
A draft song?
Yeah, this is an original remix. Bad boy, come out and play. Whatever. You know what I mean? This is the remix. Yeah. All right, here we go. You ready?
He was, Chris. You were absolutely correct, Chris. He was.
You ready?
Yeah.
What's that number one draft pick got there? Cam Ward. I said, what's that number one draft pick got there? Cam Ward. Was it Shador? No. Was it Travis? No. Was it Genty? No. Was it Cam Ward? Yeah. Go Cam Ward. It's your draft day. Go Cam Ward. It's your draft day. No.
We can do that ourselves. We don't need him for that.
Yeah, dog. How authentic would it be here, Miami Hurricane fan? Yeah, here, Miami Hurricane fan. We got the rights to the music. We ain't gonna get dinged on YouTube. We can run it on the beat. Come on, dog. Call Luke right now, dog. Right now. Let's do it live. Right now.
I thought he just redid his song.
That's what I'm saying. I said this is the remix. Bad boy. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Yeah, call him straight.
Dog, you can't tell me that shit ain't no hit, dog. Don't glow real on me, dog. Don't glow real on me, dog. Huh?
It's a hit for 3 days.
That's all it need to be.
Well, let's record it then.
Are you gonna back? Hey, you doing background dancing, Clark?
Right to the song. He just won his rights back. So we got rights to it. He ain't gonna stop us.
All right, you ready? But we need Sexy Red and all the real original Sexy Red and all them to be background dancers.
I met Sexy Red the other day, dog.
The real Sexy Red though, not this one, not the Gen Z Red.
The real
She's sexy now. She ain't even red. She ain't even red. That part I don't understand.
No, she's not red at all.
No. So we need Tip Drill, Sexy Red, the original Jocelyn Hernandez before she became Jocelyn. You know what I'm saying? Like
Jocelyn nasty.
Listen, can I tell you a story? Mama, it ain't true what I'm about to say. So listen, I was in King of Diamond and Tip Drill and Jocelyn in there, right? Well, this was just Diamond. It wasn't King of Diamond. It was Diamonds before it burned up. And so I'm in there partaking at the shake. And this was before Jocelyn Hernandez become who she is.
What's the breaking news?
Cam Ward just got picked up.
What did it say?
Oh, it's breaking news. The story I'm about to tell y'all. So listen, I'm in there. You got Tip Drill, right? That's the one that used to be at the top. And then Jocelyn come over, and she like, she had an accent. You can't handle that. You can't handle that. Like that, right? I say, shit, I'm finna write my mama a letter right now until I try my best. Let's get it. Let's run it right now. And I went home broke. But anyway, that's my story. And I'm sticking to it. And I'm done. Anyway.
Just before Jocelyn was famous, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like right before she jumped off. Like right before she jumped off.
You remember her?
Bro, she used to always be there. Like she's a pretty girl. Like you remember, because most of them don't be looking like that, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? They looking like the Players Club. They ain't looking like Lisa Ray. They looking more like Adele Givens over there. You know what I'm saying? The Ronnie Ho quotes. But anyhow, you do remember because she looks like she looked on TV and she sounded like that when she talked. You know what I'm saying?
Ellen has a question for you.
Hold up, Shad. I'm gonna go back to that's messed up, Shad. That's messed up, Shad.
It ain't a good story unless it ends in child support.
Dang, baby gravy. Oh, how she changed her name?
Let's see what Kiki got. I don't even know if Kiki got the draft order right. Let's see. See if I can get it. Well, Kiki want to talk about Shador to the Saints.
We can't hear nothing.
She ain't talking.
Oh.
She's talking.
She ain't talking. We gotta put a quarter in her back.
What's she gonna be talking?
Street over there looking like the Unabomber just left the polo store.
Street, is it not hot there? It is so hot here. Next week, I'm coming on in a bikini.
What?
Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Here
starts the rumor. Right, here starts the rumor. Well, tonight's the night.
Don't tease us with a good time. Anyway, Kiki, sleep. Tell her to wake her gigabytes up.
Y'all can't hear Kiki?
No, I don't think that mic will tap. No, man, tap your mic right quick, Street.
Oh, your mic's not on.
It might not even on.
So how y'all hear me?
It's over your computer.
No, it's not on. It ain't making no noise for us. Yeah, your computer got a mic in it. I meant to tell you that.
Dude, we got no mic.
Yeah, believe it.
Yes, it does.
Where am I?
Thank you, Rocky. I ain't the only one that's short on baby gravy.
They said it in Shannon Sharp's text thing. They said.
Oh God, I ain't even want to talk about it. Shannon Sharp.
That's what he said.
Baby gravy. That boy said, "I'm gonna give you some baby gravy." Did he say something like that?
Why? Y'all can hear it now?
Again, Street? Do it again.
1 2 1 2.
Yeah, there you go.
Really?
Yeah, it ain't been on for the long. I meant to tell you that like weeks ago.
You did tell me.
I did tell you, right? Okay.
You told them.
Woo.
Okay, I need to jump off after Kiki. I'm waiting for Kiki. Okay.
Yeah. Well, while you waiting for Kiki, can you tell us what men need to know right quick?
Yes, what men need to know is that sure is not a compliment. Sure is not good enough. Yes or no.
Can you give them an example? Can you give them an example?
If your girl changes shirts and she comes back with something else or changes outfits and she comes back with something else and you say, and she's like, hey babe, do you like this better? And you go, sure. That's not good. Say yes. Yes. Yeah. You look great. You look sexy. Don't say sure. Don't say sure. Sure is not good enough. Yes or no. Not sure. Ask Coach Hayes about that.
Okay, so you got jammed up with Sure Hayes?
Bro, I was confirming. Like, I thought sure was like yes. Like, would you like something to eat? Sure. Like I don't see how that's any different. Are you hungry? Would you like to go get something to eat? Sure.
No. Yes. No. Anytime somebody tells me sure, this is what I do. I'm not reacting to a sure.
Here's what I'll say.
Y'all can't hear Kiki? No?
Nope. I can't believe we
God.
lost our Kiki connection.
Look at Gennaro. Shout out to the troll of the week. Question. Why you always say question? All you do is put a question mark at the end. That indicates it's a question. Anyway, in the five W's and an H. Anyway, who, what, when, where, why. Anyway, sorry. Gennaro. Who are the only two collegiate players having their numbers retired before being picked in the NFL draft?
Relevance of the question?
Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders? Travis Hunter and Shadur
everybody
Sanders?
knows the answer. I don't know what are we placating just so we can, I don't understand.
Why do people feel that you got to wait to retire somebody's jersey? Because the folks all did it that way?
Damn, that sounds so much better, bro.
That sounds so good.
It sounds so good, dog.
It really does.
Bro, that's
say something
else.
Say something else.
Hey, what you doing tonight, though, really, Flawed?
It's clear.
Let me dip. Let me dip.
It's very clear. Oh, God.
Really?
It's very clear. It's very clear.
Oh, wow.
Let him out the way the teacher came out of coach. No, the teacher ain't come out. The ignorance came out of him. The collegiate. The hell is a collegiate?
Like what? Why they got? Just because people always have waited doesn't mean that you have to wait. What are they waiting for? And because don't let me start, bro. Don't let me start.
Well, let's dance. Damn it, I'm ready to dance.
All right, what do y'all have for
I don't
women?
think we agree on this.
What do y'all have for women? Because Kiki isn't working, so y'all can have this discussion, but I need to go.
Okay.
I need like fill me up. Fill me up with
Flaw, stop it right now.
Stop it, Flaw.
Don't do that. Don't do
Go
that.
ahead,
You knew where
Hayes.
that was going. You
Yeah.
knew that was going.
You did it on purpose.
Bavarian cream. Here we go. This segment is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts, Bavarian cream donuts. Here's what I'll say to y'all. I
forgot
don't
my
know what
audience.
women-
My bad.
Shad, I have baby gravy for women. Shad, you tough, boy. What do you want women to know, Street? I don't have anything today. I don't.
Huh?
What is it something you want women to know? Because she got to run.
You ain't got nothing, Hayes?
I actually do.
Well, say it, because I'm about to comb my hair again. Oh.
I don't really have anything right now today. I have to be honest.
Okay. Well, that's about right, because
Here we go.
this is
Here's what I want women to know.
because this
Faking
is
an orgasm doesn't help anybody in a relationship.
Oh, damn. That went deep.
well. Then learn to accept
Or
feedback.
maybe it didn't go deep.
It's my turn, Florida. It's our moment. Let us have our moment.
Damn,
Right.
Street, that
Faking an
mic sounds good.
orgasm, like women think that faking an orgasm helps our ego or something like faking an orgasm do is get you a 10-year relationship of bad sex.
Why
That's fake.
would you stay in a relationship for 10 years if you're faking it?
Oh, I was DJ Envy wife just admitted she was
sorry,
faking for how long?
Different conversation for a different day. Yeah, different day.
Yeah, this went left quick.
Really flawed. Do women fake orgasms?
Absolutely.
Okay. Hey, do men fake orgasms? When the last time a man in the comment? When the last time y'all faked the orgasm to get out? To get out? Oh, I got
Men fake them.
I think everybody does.
No. Y'all ain't finna. Hell no. You're not finna act like women and men fake orgasm at the same rate.
No, I can't say that. You didn't ask me.
I don't agree that. I don't agree to that either. But I don't agree with that either.
But you said, do they?
Do
So
yeah?
I'll
You
say,
said
yeah, they do. Yes.
Men don't fake. What we fake orgasm for?
You know what?
Street.
The fact that
There's several reasons you're trying to get up out of that street.
Why do we fake orgasm? Like I just know I've had many women in my life talk about faking orgasm with men.
I know,
I faked, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe they just plenty of them. I've heard that conversation from women numerous times. My homeboys, I maybe heard that joke once or twice in my life.
that may be fair, but
anything you'd like to add to that, Hayes?
yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Rocky
no
talking about street or wrong show. No, it's the right moment in the right show. At the end of the show, we give advice to the other sex. Rocky, maybe you're new here, right?
Maybe.
And my advice is, women,
I want to hold my
faking
mic
orgasm doesn't help Hayes. It doesn't help his ego. It makes your relationship bad because he's not going to stop wanting to have sex.
Does my mic sound as good as Street's when I do this?
Actually, it's a lot better that way. I don't know what it sounds like, but it looks a lot better that way. Women, my advice to you.
Can I be honest? That is why I don't have a mic coming down like this, because I'm like, that doesn't look good for women.
She made sure she got the black one. See, mine purple. She made sure
you don't have one going up either. You should have one going up. Put it closer to your mouth, Frill, going up though. Put it closer to your mouth.
No.
No, seriously. I'm telling you,
this is good enough.
Don't do that. See what you just did? Don't do. I know what you see. You think you slick? That's what mine is off. No, mine is off to the side. I know mine is off to the side.
So that's my advice.
You sound so good when you talk like that into the thing.
I'm telling you, man, it's the mic, bro.
Yeah. It sounds amazing.
Amazing, bro.
The mic like this for you next week too.
I talk really loud, so that's why I always. But maybe it will be better if I.
It's better if you sit right up on the lap. Listen,
I sit a little closer.
If you talk like this, it's 100% better.
Oh, okay.
And
So
you gotta
that's
rock
fine. But
your head
hey,
back.
you ain't got nothing, dog.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Is this better?
You just
To
talk
the
to
side?
it. But just talk to it a little bit.
Just
You ain't
talk
gotta
to
like
it.
whisper to it. Yeah, just talk to it. Trust me, it'll do its thing.
It'll
Just do
do what it's supposed to do.
Yo, let's break down the 2025
Oh, I hear
NFL
her.
Draft first round picks straight from the
Perfect.
streets
Okay.
with that authentic hood vibe. Here's the lineup. 2025 NFL mock draft round 1. 1. Tennessee Titans, Cam Ward, QB, Miami. Titans taking Cam Ward. Dog got that cannon arm and moves like a ballerina.
We don't need
Keep
all
out
this.
to
We
light.
don't need all this.
2. Cleveland Browns, Travis Hunter, CBWR, Colorado. Browns grabbing the Travis Hunter, two-way beast. Lockdown corner and a threat on offense, double trouble. New York Giants, Abdul Carter, edge, Penn State. G-men picking Abdul Carter, edge rusher with that ferocious swag. Quarterbacks better watch out. 4. New England Patriots, Will Campbell, OT, LSU. Pats secure Will Campbell, big fella protecting the blind side. No more sacks on their watch. 5. Jacksonville Jaguars, Mason Graham, DL. Michigan, Jags beef up with Mason Graham, interior monster. He eating up blocks like Sunday dinner. 6. Las Vegas Raiders, Ashton Jeanty, RB, Boise State. Raiders rolling dice on Ashton Jeanty, shifty back with that burst. Defense is about to get juked. 7. New York Jets, Armand Membu, OT, Missouri. Jets fortify the line with Armand Membu, protecting their QB like a bodyguard in the trenches. 8. Carolina Panthers, Jalon Walker, Erja. Panthers pounce on Jalon Walker, edge rusher with that dog mentality. Sack City, here we come. 9. New Orleans Saints, Shedder Sanders, QB Colorado.
Shedder.
Saints blessing the Big Easy with Shedder Sanders. Deion's son bringing that primetime flair. 10. Chicago Bears, Tyler Warren, TE, Penn State. Bears snag Tyler Warren, tight end with hands like glue. Red zone threat all day. 11. San Francisco 49ers, Walter Nolan, DL miss. Niners stacking the D-line with Walter Nolan, big man disrupting plays like a wrecking ball. Dallas Cowboys, Josh Simmons, OT, Ohio State. Cowboys lasso Josh Simmons, solid tackle, keeping that pocket clean for the star QB. 13. Miami Dolphins, Colston Loveland, TE, Michigan. Finns dive in for Colston Loveland, tight end stretching the field. Tua got a new toy. SAR 14. Indianapolis Colts, James Pierce Jr., edge. Colts charge with James Pierce Jr., edge rusher, bringing that heat off the edge. 15. Atlanta Falcons, Tetairoa McMillan, WR, Arizona. Falcons fly high with Tetairoa McMillan.
And there you go.
Nice.
So real quick, I thought she was following Mel Kiper's list, and then
I did too.
From 10 down, it started to change.
It was different, yeah. You know what's going to be interesting is if, like, once it comes out, if how close I was by position that they get, if it was just a different player, and if all of these 15 guys go and they just go to different places. But I think if anybody trades up, it's going to screw up everything, I feel like.
If Genty goes to the Raiders, I'm buying the jersey. You think Genty could go that high?
Who wouldn't do it, but that's on them.
Bro, watching him is like watching a throwback Ricky Williams, Marshall Faulk. I'm telling you, bro, watching him was like a breath of fresh air at running back, bro.
I wouldn't do it only because I think that you can get better value not picking him there. That's a lot of money to give to a running back. That's a rookie.
Where does it weigh on the scale of entertainment? You're talking about a new program, right? Like talking about Las Vegas. Where does it weigh on the scale of putting asses in seats?
Not very high because
drafting
they're
old
so
linemen
bad.
You know, Dolphin fans, we hate it every time we drafted old linemen.
Yeah, no, I mean, but the problem is though, I always look at who's in that division. And so you're going to have, like, is Genty going to, like, if you play the Kansas City Chiefs, are you showing up to watch Genty run against the Kansas City Chiefs? Are you showing up to watch Genty run against the Los Angeles Chargers? Or are you, I'm making this up, or are you drafting somebody to see how so-and-so gets after Patrick Mahomes or gets after, you see what I'm saying? I just don't.
Luke Hayes, want me to ask him?
Yeah. Tell her we got a song for him.
If you do this, my friends are gonna get mad at me because
what?
I
They're
didn't
gonna
see
get
what
mad at
he
you.
was
Why? Oh
because
no,
I was
get out of
like,
here. Get out of here. Go.
I wouldn't
Go
see what they're
ahead.
gonna say. No, but so anyways, that's why I wouldn't take a running back because I also feel like there's a lot of them that you can take in rounds 2.
And I hate
back.
to say this too, with the way the game is played with Ashton Genty, he does give you that old school feel, but I don't know if he's capped. And just hear me, I'm not taking away from his talent. We're talking about his versatility, right? Like that's the issue. Does he scare anybody if you were to wind him out against a linebacker one-on-one? I don't think so. I like again, we're talking about drafting them that high in the first 10 picks, first 15 picks is tough.
Who's the most feared running back in NFL right now? Saquon Barkley?
Saquon?
I mean,
I think we about to see some old school fear at running back this year out of this guy, man. Like we've seen a long time.
No, can I say this to you? I think Genty has a place. I just don't believe he's worth that much today. Now, in 5 years, I believe the running back, I think you can see the transition of the NFL, believe it or not. Because remember I used to tell y'all, the fullback is coming back. You're going to see 21 personnel because everybody's drafting. Think about it. We're talking about NFL draft picks at linebacker at 220, 225. That's unheard of, bro.
Right.
Defensive lineman going into the league at 124 pounds.
Get out of here, Flaw.
Yeah, go ahead. We about to shake it up about these jerseys.
Okay, be good.
Tell everybody bye.
Hey, hold on real quick, Flaw. What's that number 1 pick out there? Cam Ward.
Michael Jackson?
What's that number 1 pick out there? Cam Ward. Is it Shador? No. Is it Travis? No. Is it Genty? No. Is it Cam Ward? Yeah. Go Cam Ward. It's your draft day. Go Cam Ward. It's your draft day.
All right. Anyway, thank you both for letting me put together this list, present this list. I appreciate your trust and faith in me. So thank you for that. If you haven't already, go to my channel, Really Flawed Football, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you'll get a lot of great footage, a lot of my real and honest commentary, whether you like it or not. I always state my opinion, and I do not care who doesn't like it.
It is.
Bye.
Peace. Oh, a body flew away. So here's my question, Street. Y'all ain't gonna act like that ain't no hit. See, I've been listening to Master P lately, and P said he went to a record exec and he had, I'm about it. And the dude said, hey, bring back another hit next week. He said, all right. He came back. He gave him the tape. He put it in. You know, I'm about it. You say, I'm about it. He said, dog, didn't I tell you come back with something else? He said, I did. He said, come back next week with something else. P said, okay. He came back the next week. They said, I'm about it. They said, you about it. He said, dog, what's wrong with you? Come back with something else. He said, dog, this is a hit. You ain't listening. Man, come back next week and I'm done. If you don't have nothing else, I'm done with you. All right. P come back the next week, put the tape in. I say, I'm about it. It said he about it. He said, do me a favor, dog. Play it on the radio one time. And if the people don't like it, then I won't come back. Dude played it on the radio one time, and that ish was a hit, dog. I got a hit right here. I just need Uncle Luke to co-sign the homie from the crib, dog. Matter of fact, tell Luke
what dummy couldn't hear that?
I buy his records. He can holler at me.
All right, I'm finna hit him up right now, man. Let's get out of here.
I want him to come on live. I want to do it live. I want to let him know we got a live hit.
I'm gonna put my dog on the spot like that.
I want him to tell me, hell no, get that bull crap out of here. Hey, you ain't no LaJuan Love. You ain't no Aunt Couillette. You ain't no MC Shawty. You ain't no H-Town. Huh? Look at all them hits I'm putting on. You ain't no Trick Daddy Dollars. You ain't no Poison Clan.
I'm gonna clip it and send it to him, dog. I'm sure you're gonna think that's really funny.
And make sure you clip that paw right there, too. Shout out to the legend in the building, man. Uncle Luke. Uncle Luke got my first ass whipping because I told my mama get the clean version of Throw the D, and I got suspended because she brought the dirty version of Throw the D at Miami Lakes Elementary School, and the white folks put me out of there. Anyway. Hey, real quick about the jersey. You say you brought it up. Hey, Skinny man, please tell me that tape fell out your pocket, man. Tell me that tape fell out your pocket, Skinny man. Anyway, you said what's the rush in doing the jerseys? Let's talk a little. You said what's the rush in doing the jerseys?
What you mean?
You talking about the retirement jerseys?
Yeah, what is the rush?
I
know, not what's the rush. No, why do people feel just because everybody wait 10 years to put a dude in college that's the way it has to be? No, it don't have to be that way. I think Shador did something that nobody ever did. And I think Travis Hunter won Heisman. Shit.
Yeah, I think so. Here's what I'll say to that, Street. I get it. I'll start off this. I'll preface it first by saying it's their school. They do what they want. However, we're talking about content, and we're talking about maybe unwritten rules or standards in essence, right? When you retire jerseys, in general, right, it's bestowed the highest honor that you can give to that player. And like I said, when you look at retired jerseys, it's not many across this country that are retired. Even I'm talking about storied programs, bro. Like Notre Dame back with what's his name, Newt Rodney and all them cats. They don't have that kind of stuff because you may give it to your Heisman winner because that's an honor. That's the best player in college football. Like it's only a handful of those guys. Think about how many people play college football and you got what 100 and something Heisman Trophy winners. So I say all that to say it should be award. There are only 90 Heisman Trophy winners. 90. Bro, 90. That's not a lot compared to how many people play college football. And you only get one a year. I think Archie Griffin and them have won twice, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's one more person. However, I think the question really becomes about Shador, actually, right? And the Shador answer is I can understand. If you want to retire Shador jersey for what he did, then I think you should go back and look at the guys previously who have done what he's done, or maybe even more. Because, see, we're looking at Colorado in today's time. People like Colorado was terrible, right? That's fair.
Right.
But Colorado also was terrible before them boys got there. It just wasn't in our time frame. Street, we was 10 years old. So we didn't look at it that way. Colorado was in the same boat they was in before Shador and them got there. So I think they have equal value. The Deion Figures, the Hagan, the Eric Bieniemy, the Cordell Stewarts, they went and won 10, 11 games and won a damn natty. Yeah. And then when they left, it went down again. And then Shador and them brought it back up. So I think that's the biggest thing. Because when you look at Miami.
Yeah, somebody think that there was a better quarterback at Colorado than Shador?
Well, you want to talk about numbers?
That's all we can talk about.
What? No, but see, if we want to go statistically, here's why I say this. We could talk about statistics, but guess what? It's about the body of work, and that's what I think is questionable. What he did at Colorado is great, but it can easily be broken. It's not hard to break what he's done. We clearly saw 6 other guys do it, not at Colorado per se, but again, it's a what he achieved was great. There's no knock on that, but it can easily be obtained and surpassed. Because let's say Juju come out, and throw for 4,300 yards this year and 30 touchdowns. You want to retire his too?
No, I think y'all keep forgetting that this is entertainment. I think y'all keep forgetting that. And but the impact that Shador Sanders had on Colorado. I think y'all keep forgetting that this is entertainment, dog. The impact that him, his family, like that they had on Colorado. Because Cordell Stewart is nowhere near the quarterback Shador is.
They're totally different eras.
If you want to look at stats, whatever, it's not close. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
No, but the reason they're not because they were, bro, that's like Ken Ward coming out of high school. He was a wing T quarterback. Cordell Stewart was running the ball, right? I'm just saying they weren't.
Stewart threw the ball. He threw the ball. Huh? No.
No bullshit. Oh, Cordell Stewart, man, threw the ball 200 times in a season.
No, man. I think what Shador is done is being downplayed, bro. I do. I think coming from HBCU and then crossing right over to Power 5 football and performing the same exact way, even better, is a thing, has never happened before. Why does the University of Colorado think it's okay? That's the question. You think somebody quarrels them? You think Dion put a gun to the president's head?
So here's what I'll say, and I'm with you. I'm not, like I said, this is no knock. What I'm saying is I'm making the fair comparison. I understand the entertainment piece too, Street.
Mm-hmm.
But let's also see. I think this is the problem. People are forgetting the past. Think about this: Cordell Stewart, Greg Hagan, and all of these guys prior to Colorado.
Darian Hagan,
excuse me.
Because that was my dog. I love Darian Hagan.
I know. Exactly.
I love Darian Hagan.
You was watching them?
Yeah. Darian Hagan, B-Enemy, Mike Pritchard. I love them dudes.
The Street. Look what they did for us, and we didn't have social media. We getting Colorado
that was one of
games.
my favorite teams. Yeah.
I know, but we're getting Colorado games in the early 90s, in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s on this side when they used to black those games out. So what I'm saying to you, a perfect example is what Shador did for Colorado was beautiful, brilliant, what the Sanders family did. But it's also equivalent, in my opinion. It's not as big because you didn't have social media, you didn't have as much reach. But it's the same thing them guys did at that time. Let's talk about Colorado. 1-10, 1980, 3-8, 2-8, 4-7, 1-10, right? Then here come these boys. 7-5, 6-6, 7-4, 8-4, 11-1, 11-1, won a natty. Then Cordell come in 8-3, 9-2, 8-3, 11-1. Cordell leaves 10-2. They leave now here 10-2. Then they go 5-6, 8-4, 7-5, 3-10. So they brought Colorado up. Nobody watching. No, if you look at Colorado, the last time Colorado won a 10-win season game before Hagan them got there was 1971. Before that, they had never won a double digit since 1902. They just been a bad program.
Mm-hmm.
And when Cordell, B-Enemy, Hagan, all the boys got there, boom, they caught fire just like Sanders.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying to you is, if you're going to retire Shador, I have no problem with that. Give the same respect to the guys that not only caught fire, but they also won a natty. Let's call it, because they, like, people think like Colorado just poor. They've been bad for a long time. So not only did we bring fire to Colorado and get y'all 11-1, 11-1, 8, 9, 8, 11, 10, 10. We also brought a natty in that junk and a Heisman Trophy winner. It's equivalent. That's all I'm saying.
Dog, listen, the people at Colorado decided to do this. So the impact that them kids have had on that city has to be massive. Right? Like, cause we're not there. Like, so the people at Colorado decided to do this. So obviously they saw something that they've never seen before.
Because they didn't, I don't think they chose to take, and I'll say this to you, Street, and you should definitely know this. Because sometimes people, when they go into situations, especially when you start talking about institutions, there is history there. I brought this up on one of our other shows. You ever heard of the Jackson 5?
Yeah.
I ain't talking about the singing group.
Nah.
Yes, you have. Come on, basketball from the crib.
Jackson 5?
Yeah.
Nah.
Miami Jackson. They call them the Jackson 5.
The Bahamians.
There you go.
Yeah.
That history is erased. You want to know why? Because nobody took the time to curate it. Right? There's nothing in the school about the Jackson 5. As good as they were, they good or not?
Yeah, because they were cheating.
But just hear me out. They're the Jackson 5, right? I'm just saying. Because that history is gone, is in the back door. But when you come to colleges and university, there's somebody who that curates that and they keep that integrity alive. It's just like somebody coming saying, even though Cam Ward, let me ask you this, even though Cam Ward did what he did, imagine somebody said, I'm finna retire Cam Ward jersey before I retire Gino Toretta at Miami. Cam Ward had better numbers.
I wouldn't argue. I think he's the greatest quarterback we ever saw at Miami.
All right.
Dog, I think championships are team awards. I mean, you know how I feel about that.
No, I agree with that. But I'm just saying, I don't believe we should go. Ken Dorsey, who was that just got into the Ring of Fame? We about to get up out of here. But who was that just got into the Ring of Fame at Miami? Just now, 25 years later. Ken Dorsey. Who else got in there in the Ring of Honor?
Man, Reggie talking about being country. Listen, bro. Cam Ward, the greatest quarterback ever to play. Warren Sapp said he told. He told. Whose name you just said? What his name is?
For who? Who?
Who you just said? If Cam Ward drove you get retired before.
Oh, you're talking about Gino Toretta.
Gino Toretta. Warren Sapp told Gino Toretta to his face Cam Ward was the greatest quarterback to ever play.
No, I agree.
And Gino Toretta was like, well, it's only halfway through the season. Warren Sapp said he was like, well, you think he's going to drop dead?
No.
Bruh.
But that's my point. Things should be better. I agree. But like say, I won the Heisman here. I won the best player. Vinny Testaverde won the best player. Bro, Ken Dorsey, Andre Johnson, Brian McKinney, and Dan Morgan, they just being inducted into Miami Ring of Honor. Because we retired jerseys at Miami. Bro, we had to play with letters on our jerseys. We wouldn't have the numbers.
I think people create things and we think life should go that way all the time. Why the fuck are they waiting so long to retire Dan Morgan's jersey? What's the reason for waiting so long? So I just don't think things always have to stay the same. Now, just because you retire Shedeur Sanders jersey first, don't mean you can't go backwards.
That's
and
true.
Retire the enemy's on. So I just think people get so caught up in tradition that's created by people who run things, and we think that, hey, that's how things should always be. No, the impact that those boys had on college football, I think, warranted their jerseys being retired. I'm sorry. They came out of nowhere. No, and they took a team, and they were the most watched team, right? I think they probably were the most Google college team while they were there. I bet you. Probably the top 2 Google players.
I would agree with that. And I give nothing but respect to Deion Sanders for that. I mean, this is not taking nothing away from their gameplay. I mean, this was orchestrated masterfully, dog, by Prime. I have to be honest. It was orchestrated masterfully.
It was.
But we also talking about, when things are, anyway, like I said, I mean, we could talk about it. Y'all do me a favor because we got a show tomorrow. Street, you don't want to miss this show. I got it in with a cult member. And all I'm going to say is this is going to be super exciting, boy. If you ever mess with Coach Hayes in that doggone kitchen, boy, you might get burned, boy. And one of them got burned, and we're going live tomorrow to talk about it. All I can tell you is, you know how they say Tiger don't change his stripes? You ever heard that saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes they lose one, though. And we're going to find out tomorrow. We're going to find out tomorrow, Street. We're going to find out tomorrow. Y'all don't want to miss it. 8:30, man. Y'all check us out 8:30 tomorrow. Y'all check us out Hayes Street at 7 p.m. Manana, man. We're going to make it happen. Street, don't hang up. I'll holler at you right quick. All right? So with that being said, we out here, NFL draft. Y'all look out for us, too, on Thursday. We may be doing something live. Let's see how good Really Flawed is when it comes to her draft picks. Oh, Flawed Kuiper in the building. Or should we call him Mel Flawed? We're going to find out, man. Tag, Street, when you finish that thing, tag me in it, dog. When you cut that up, that'll be interesting.
Okay, I'm going to cut it up and put it out there.
With all that being said, with the first pick in the NFL draft, Footballville Mama, the pulling guard for the Burger King Hefty Yos. We out of here. Peace.